Good morning, students. Today we will be reading No Men Are Foreign, the summary of this poem. In the previous class, you have learned the explanation of the poem para by para. Now you will learn the summary. In the poem No Men Are Foreign, the poet tells us that no human beings are different. Beneath the superficial differences in appearance or behavior, all human beings have similar feelings, emotions, and reactions. The poet begins by telling his readers that human beings are not different from each other simply on the basis that they hail from separate countries. Soldiers from one nation or the other may fight in the army of their nation, but underneath their different uniforms, they are all essentially similar. They live on the same earth and breathe the same air as their enemies, and one day all of them shall be laid to rest in the same earth. In these lines, the poet gives further evidence of unity of man. He says that in times of war or peace, those who hail from countries other than our own also depend, like we do, on sun and air and water for their survival. Like us, they too have seen periods of peace and periods of war. In times of peace, they have experienced abundance and prosperity like us. Again, just like us, they have known shortage of food and famine during war. They have worked as hard as us, and their hands show the lines of toil just as ours do. The poet tells his readers to remember the fact that our enemies have eyes like ours and sleep and wake us just like we do. We all have physical strength that can be won by force and the strength of the heart that can be won by love. All human beings use their inner strength to help their fellow beings, and this strength is nurtured through love. Despite the differences between various nations, the common people live the same kind of life everywhere. Therefore, you can recognize the pattern of life no matter where you travel in this world wide. The poet raises his voice again to those groups that encourage us to wage wars against our brothers. The poet believes that we must all remember that whenever we are brainwashed and compelled to hate and kill our brothers, we only deceive, disown, betray, and condemn ourselves. That this is a form of self destruction. Any hatred that we may harbor for any member of the human race is a betrayal of the entire species and our condemnation of its future. If we kill people of any other nation, we are in fact endangering the human species as a whole and its survival on earth. The poet, he says that if we, the guardians of the earth, pick up arms against our brothers and die as a result of war, then there would no one left to take care of the home that our ancestors had passed down to us. So, comparing wartime with hell, the poet says that when war breaks out between two hostile nations, we pollute our Mother Earth to such an extent that we create a living hell of dust and fire that violates the purity of our surroundings, including our thoughts and action. In war, as in hell, there is fire and smoke everywhere. As a result of this, the earth is becoming poisoned. The very air that we breathe is becoming impure and will not be able to sustain human life for much longer. That is why the poet encourages us not to wage war our own fellow men, thinking they are foreigners and that their country are unlike to our own. So, children, this is the summary of the poem No Men Are Foreign. I think you would have understood the chapter now. Thank you for watching the video. Stay home, be safe.